Hello guys, Ryan here from TeamGHQ, and today I'm going to do my tech profile on my Nubatamas. So my starter, I go with a new one, Stealth Rogue of a Wintry Wind, TeamGHQ. I'm sorry, but I'm going to probably butcher half of these names. Even though they're my favourite clan, the names are not good. Now its skill, it has Afterimage, which is a new ability from the Reckless Rampage technical booster, where when a bound card goes back to the opponent's hand, if you have 6 or less cards in hand, you may bounce that unit back to your hand. So if you have 5 cards in hand, you can bounce 2 back, and so on. Its other ability is GB1. When you place it on rearguard, your opponent picks a bound card, and they have to put it to drop zone. When they do, you countercharge 1. So a nice little countercharge engine for the clan. And I run that at 2. Because it's always nice to have a backup just in case somebody kills it. Now for triggers, I run the standard 4 heal. I like the art of the old one. Nice. I run a total of 8 crits, 4 of the promo one, just getting a bit hard to get hold of, and 4 of the Shiranui one, which when a Vanguard with Shiranui in the name attacks, soul charge it, give it 5k and draw a card. And for the last trigger, I run 4 of the stands, which it's basically a pseudo draw trigger GB1 when it's placed on rearguard. If you've got less cards in hand than your opponent, draw a card, shuffle it back into deck, and give a unit plus 3k. So you can make your 9ks into 12k attackers and so on. Now for grade 1s, start off with the standard 4 perfect cards, but I run the rare one, Stealth Beast Aramatabi, which has Afterimage, just like the stand trigger stuff does, and the starter. But its other skill is when it boosts an attack, GB1, if there's a copy of it in the drop zone, I can Soul Blast one and the opponent can get rid of has to pick a bound card and get rid of it. So it's just nice. Early games you can call it, rush, and then get it back from a bound card. You don't normally use its other effect. Then I run 3 of the stride stride fodders, grade 1 ones. So I can either place it on field and search out my grade 3 by revealing 1, or use it to stride with. Then I run a total of 3 of Stealth Dragon Chigiragumo. 7k grade 1 as Afterimage, and GB1 when it's placed on rearguard. Soul Blast 1 if you have a Shiranui Vanguard. You check top 3 for an card with Afterimage effect, and you can call it to the field. Nice to make columns, or to get, say you had to ride the grade 1, well, the perfect card, you can use it to Soul Blast that if you want to use its effect. And it's just nice to make another column, get a 9k grade 2, swing for 16 and all that. And lastly, I run 3 Dreadmasters. I would run 4, but really you only need 1 on the 2 rearguard columns, and you don't really want it behind Vanguard because after your drive checks you normally have more in hand than your opponent. For the grade 2s, I run 4 of a bear. Now if you want to do early rush with Afterimage and you get bear, you ride bear, get to bind a starter or any card you got on field, just drop your entire hand and then get all the cards with Afterimage back at end of turn. Really good tactic for rushing early game and causing massive damage or making your opponent guard a lot. I then run 3 Miyabis, 1 SP. Need to try and get more. And its skill is Counter Blast 1 when it boosters and it's attacking a Vanguard. If you have less cards in hand than your opponent, you can bind one of their cards from their hand at random, and it gets plus 3k. So it can make it a 12k attacker with any other boosters, because they're mainly 7k apart from a perfect guard. You'll be swinging for 19, which is quite good. And I run 3 Nibiki Tabira, which has Afterimage, and when you place it on rearguard, you've got Shiranui Vanguard, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, pick another one of your units, they both get, this card and that unit both get 3k and Afterimage. So if you call a bear to rearguard, you can just call that down, use its skill to give the bear after image, so you can get the bear back to call it again next turn to bind another card. Quite nice. And for the last spot in my grade 2s, I won 2 Stealth Dragon Kokugeo. When it's on the field, whenever a card gets bound, it gets 2k. So if it's on the field, you can get quite nice power columns with that card alone. Now for grade 3s, I run 3 TeamGHQ Congo, the Break Ride for Nubatama. Mainly for if my opponent stays on grade 2 and I find it to be a nice backup and allows me more options within my strides. Now it's Limit Break for when you ride on top of it, your opponent has to discard a card and then bind a card. So it also helps with if you're going into for a big push. And for the main boss, I run 4 Shiranuis, 2 of them SP. Now what this guy does is his GB2, people say it's underwhelming, but it gets off quite a lot really. It's when it attacks, if the number of cards in your hand is less than your opponent, it gains 5,000 and a crit. So even if they drop cards to guard afterwards, it still has that because it's on attack. And its stride skill is when you stride over it, counterblast 1, bind one of their rear guards and they have to discard a card. So if you went from Break Ride onto him, they've just lost 2 cards from hand, and then if you stride as well, you can get rid of another card from hand and 1 from field for a cost of 1 counterblast. Now onto the strides. Until the next Fighters Collection is out, I've just gone for a simple setup. I run 1 of the Rakudo Stealth Dragon Joorikan. For if I'm starting a Break Ride and want to stride, I can stride into him. His skill Counterblast 2, bind a card from field, and they pick 1 from hand. And if I have a Sure Heart, they go to drop at end of turn. So basically a Counterblast 2 to get rid of 2 cards. Next up I run 1 American, which is on hit, bind a card at random from opponent's hand, and if you have 3 or more cards with after image on the field, you have to pick a bound card and send it to the drop zone. Then I run 1 Kudo Stealth Dragon Gedatsuriken, which is just on hit discard. Even if they've got 1 card in hand, they have to discard it. Next up I run 4 of the Persona Flipper Atago Ward, which I find quite nice. It's GB2, Counterblast 1, choose a copy of it from face down, flip it over, and you get your opponent chooses a card to bind from hand, which sure they can pick anything, keep their perfect guard and all that in hand, but the other part of its skill is if they have 3 or less cards in hand, it gains a crit. People say it's bad, but you get it off quite a lot, especially if you go from Break Ride onto Stride. You're basically going down from 5 in hand in the opponent's hand down to about 2, if not 1. And lastly, I run 1 Tsuku Morikan for GR, just for if my opponent's got big hand in that. When you ride it, Counterblast 2, GB2, unflip anything, and your opponent just picks 4 cards from hand, and that's all they can keep to guard for that turn. The rest go to the drop. Well, go to the bind zone, sorry, and then they get them back at end of turn. Now if you stride him over this guy, you can do his skill first, and then use your strider skill to make him have 3 cards in hand for that turn. So if you've got full 3 columns, they've got to survive with 3 cards. If they're on 4 damage, possible to survive, but if they're on 5, it's almost a death sentence. But yeah, anyway, that's my Nubatama deck profile. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, click the like button, any comments, mention, and check out the Facebook page, TeamGHQ, and also check out the shop's Facebook page, Geeks Headquarters. And as always, happy gaming.